There we are. Hello.
Everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of All Elite Weekly. We call it weekly. It's been a few weeks since we've been on because Mark is currently finishing. He's finished now his MBA, so he's a master of all kinds of business, including the wrestling business. And we're here to talk about a certain business that is AEW and what happened this week. And maybe we'll go back a few weeks and see what happened that led up until this week's episode of Dynamite last night and all the things that went down on the road to Allin and All Out and everything that's going to be on behind that. Mark, how are things?
Good. Everything's good. Apologies again for having to delay. It's entirely on me. Losing the run of myself, losing the hedge a few times over the past few weeks with numerous one or two things going on. So I sincerely apologize for the delay in the last 2 weeks. But no, everything's good. Some absolutely fantastic AEW content. Yeah, it's been it's unbelievable shows the last number of weeks, and it feels like there's like a groundswell of momentum behind them to a degree. Like that's been reflected in kind of their viewership numbers and kind of anticipation. Like there's a feeling of like, as it was, I don't know, even a year ago, like you're kind of looking forward to a Wednesday. Like I'm stupidly staying up too late to watch AEW again. Like not out of chore, not out of like feeling you have to, or like just in case something happens, but like there's an excitement building in you Monday, Tuesday, where like shit, I really want to watch this, and not for any like fucking like low hanging fruit fishing stuff that people are like, oh, maybe Shane McMahon's going to appear. Obviously, he's not going to appear on TV. He's not being talked about for that kind of stuff. It's actually just good quality content wrestling, and it's their new, more focused format of like their summer plans. Like there's so many things that were pigeonholed last summer, like be it from Collision, then fitting in the Bret Hart tournament or the Owen Hart tournament on top of that. Then you've got Blood and Guts, which sometimes can feel shoehorned into things. Then All In was like a last minute decision based around the availability of Wembley Stadium, whereas now they've had a year to plan out their summer full in advance, and they've kind of been plotting their path along. Despite what the likes of kind of trolls online like Raj Giri or others people say, or Alfred Canoe or Bully Ray or whatever, the summer's been very methodically thought out, and it has iteratively, step by step, grown an audience and grown up, grow momentum and excitement to the product again, and both on a Wednesday and on a Saturday. Obviously, that's to the detriment of their product on a Friday, but look, they're doing well. There's now a renewed focus even on Ring of Honor, which seems to have been the last couple of weeks got a breath of fresh air in terms of what they're doing, which is obviously playing into their kind of TV media rights renewals and whatnot. So everything seems to be in bloody good place, generally as a company and product.
What was your initial thoughts when that picture went up with Shane and Tony?
Don't care.
Like, did you think anything about it?
Do you know what it is? Like, you've got all these clowns online, right? Not one of them have worked in a professional environment. Not one of them have worked. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, but you can't bring him in. Like, he's just gonna take up XYZ TV time. Like, that's not what he's being talked about. Yeah, you appear on TV, but like, you bring him in because if you look at his platform launch we did in China previously, where he launched You On Demand, which is the equivalent to Netflix at the time, which is the head of Netflix, and the companies he's launched globally, the people that he's got an incredible CV in terms of his consumer and digital based products that he's launched or been involved in the last 10 years. Having somebody like, even if you give him an equity in the company, be like a 10% stake or whatever, like the return you're going to get on that in terms of being brand value, but also the exposure you get to very different outlets and the ability to partner with different outlets and various different government bodies and whatnot. Like we've seen recently, Kosher Irby's got them, obviously got your Arlington residency where AEW are being paid to go to those shows, to host those shows by the Arlington, Dallas kind of metro area. They've got another residency coming up where they're going to be hosting it in Cleveland, where they've been paid like through a tax credit essentially, but through up to $2 million. Like that's operational efficiencies and revenue generating moves, which are absolutely incredible, which are common sense. But as you know, in life, particularly losers who spend their life on Twitter, and I know this is going out on Twitter, but who cares? Like people who very care. Like the common sense isn't common whatsoever. And people who live on Twitter pontificating about the values of like a company or whatnot, like how it should be run and stuff, who spend their whole life in a basement preaching moralistic values and stances on various different issues in a thigh or somewhere. Somehow their authority in these matters, like they can all jump in a ditch like they haven't a clue.
You brought up the Arlington shows. I just want to get your thoughts on the production value of that show, the setup.
Yeah, I think it's. I wasn't really sure what to think of it. I suppose it kind of sold as being this really modern venue, and obviously the stage, etc., is really, really cool. And I like it's different. Like I think AEW Collision originally was very, very different as a product, as its whole design. But then, like over the last number of, I suppose, this year mainly, since the kind of Continental Classic concluded, it felt like another episode of Dynamite, but not the best. It was kind of almost like a secondary brand of Dynamite, which is kind of a shame in a sense. Whereas now it's like it had the same tunnels and all that kind of stuff. Whereas originally when AEW Collision was launched itself, had the best stage, the best setup, everything was different. I absolutely loved its look and feel, even on down to commentary and whatnot. Whereas now, going back to these residencies with this unique look of stage, it's different. It feels different. It's got a different vibe. It's got a different energy. Like, I like it. I like the more intimate atmosphere. I think you can tell, like, it may be like 1,500 people there, grand, okay, but like the camera quality, the production quality, by and large, I know they had like an audio issue the first couple of matches of the weekend, which is like inexcusable at this stage, but by and large, like you can just production values, HD cameras, lighting, stage, all that kind of stuff. It just looks.
It looks like a TV studio. It looks
good. Yeah,
like
it's different. Like it's. I mean,
yeah, it is different. Like Collision, originally when Collision came on, Collision, like you said, it was completely different vibe to Dynamite, and it was brilliant.
It's a good way of building. It's a good way of building it again. Like
because it needs something. It needs something because the style. I like the setup. I like the style of it. There's a lot of things missing from it that I still want to see.
Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see?
I think the matches, the match qualities aren't as good as they were previously in Collision. The star power, there's just this overall star power. Like they're not getting big stars. That like last episode of Collision, there wasn't any matches that were really must see matches. It was a good episode.
I love the hologram Beast Mortos. I love FTR MXM. I thought they were absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's not what you were used to in Collision. Like I think Collision still needs to have. I'm not saying they need to split the roster, but they need to have a big star. All the big stars that AEW have are on Dynamite every week. I think they need one or two of them to be on Collision every week as well.
I think it's also a place. I think there's merit in having a place to build stars, and I think they're doing that very well. And I think
that's fine. Like
10 to 15. If you got honestly, if you go through a list of about 10 to 15 of their top wrestlers are all injured or like unavailable or whatnot. Like if you go through like an injury list every so often, it's like sweet fucking Jesus.
I know, yeah, but like they have so many titles. There's no reason why they couldn't have one of the bigger titles be on Collision every week. They have the AEW title. And
I mean, they've only had 2 weeks of this. They've only had 2 weeks of this, whereas previously the TNT.
Oh title, no, I'm not saying
TNT
that.
Title was I'm just saying show. I mean, that was previously, whereas now, TNT title like it's a mix. Like I imagine over the coming weeks, like they gave focus to building up new audience, and obviously they're based in Texas, so that based on that you're going to leverage your talent from that area, particularly the lucha-based talent. You're going to have a huge following down there, and it's paid off in a big time. Also given renewed focus to the trios division. They've also given a renewed focus to the tag team division, so you can only do one or two things at a time given your kind of time parameters, what you're trying to achieve from it. I think they're holistically building up a new brand with this new kind of cast of stars as such. They obviously do realize, like, given it's a Saturday night, what you're typically going to be competing against, like Wednesday's your kind of stars of the show. This is the one that drives the bacon in terms of selling pay-per-view tickets and seats. Collision's its own entity where you're developing, you can be more creative, and that's what they've been doing. And I think it's holistically rebuilding a brand and redeciding what it is.
Where I was going with it is like they have all these big stars, but I think it's been set up the way you said, like that to build a new audience. But I think somebody like Ricochet coming in, being the big star on Collision, might be a good option for them if they're going to bring him in beyond TV.
Why would you bring him in before Allin?
Not saying in general. I'm just saying overall, like someone like him could be he could be the main star, like with these lucha style.
You could have had the likes of Ricky Starks or Keith Lee come back in. They're from Texas. They could have been there. Ricky Starks is just being pedantic at the minute, sitting home. Keith Lee is just a dick. So there you are.
Are they injured? Or are they just sitting at home?
Ricky Starks sitting at home, rejecting creative plans left, right, and center.
Okay.
And Keith Lee is being sat at home intentionally.
What can you do? They're adults.
If you do listen, Keith Lee, just deciding minutes before show because he's not going over a big pay-per-view at World's End. He's not going to put Swerve Strickland over and decide he's injured. It's fine. You could have muscled through it if you want, but I know you're injured. You're sitting at home now. Can't be trusted.
Anyway, let's talk about what happened. Like, we had the 250th episode that we didn't talk about. We had Blood and Guts, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it. So just briefly run over them before we talk about last night's episode of Dynamite. Yeah. What was your thoughts on the Ospreay and MJF? We'll call it Iron Man match, the hour long.
The hour long Broadway. Traditional, like a traditional 1980s wrestling champion would do, is they would go from town to town. MJF wants to be Ric Flair, and he is Ric Flair. He's the closest thing to Ric Flair in wrestling. Like, I mean, if you want to watch wrestling, you watch AEW. It was absolutely incredible. It was for what it was. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff, like, since MJF's turned heel, it feels like he's gone back to a lot of, like, cliches and tropes, which I don't like. I like him when he's more serious, even as a heel or a face. Like, it's just, I don't know, the match was absolutely incredible, but is it the character he's portraying now was the character he played when he's a far smaller, less developed young man, whereas now he's a fully grown beast. Like, I just...
He's just pissing off the crowd.
Suddenly he's wearing a suit and scarf again, you're like, oh, it's not you anymore, though. Like, you could have kept wearing the leather jacket, you could have kept being that dickhead. But the match was absolutely incredible. The shows are absolutely unbelievable. Then Swerve Okada and whatnot. Blood and Guts was amazing. It didn't feel like Blood and Guts at times can feel like it's dragging. Like, it doesn't feel like didn't feel like it was as contrived as, say, the War Games matches are in WWE. Like, they're never, like, these matches are never, like, unbelievable. They're never going to capture the magic of WCW and NWA. But they're a sight lot better than the War Games efforts of the last 10 years. Particularly this year, I thought was my favorite of the last couple. Just because usually, sometimes, particularly when Jericho was involved in one of the year, like, it felt like after the last man comes in, it could then we're gonna have a 20-minute match. Whereas that should be the point. Like, match should only be like 5-10 minutes more, and that's what it was this year. It felt like everything picked up in pace and so much more happened. It was very, very good, really, really good.
Were you hoping that Dabry might actually set your favorite wrestler of all time, Jack Perry, on fire?
No, I'm against arson. I'm not don't like fire, don't like pyrotechnics. No,
you don't like gimmicks.
Never had any fireworks in this house. No,
never.
No, it's illegal in the Republic of Ireland. With law-abiding citizens, but no, I felt safe and secure in the knowledge that Turner Broadcasting Network wouldn't allow a man to be lit ablaze on national television. Even if it's past the watershed, like, I just don't think it's a good idea. So I doubt they'll allow a man to be burned alive while tied to a cage. So I wasn't worried about that, nor was I calling for it to happen. It was a good finish. It's funny, you got losers online like Jimmy Corderas calling for headshot. All people giving out about headshots, whereas, like, AEW are the most safe company in the world, and, like, anytime they do with these kind of chair headshots, like, they use the most gimmicked chairs imaginable. They fucking tinfoil chairs. Do you know what I mean? Like, was it
a gimmick chair though?
Yeah.
Was it? Didn't sound like a gimmick chair.
Yeah, but look at QT Marshall's feed. He's been arguing about it for days. Like, it's fucking fucking tin it's gimmicked as fuck. Like
a Coke can, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's gimmicked as fuck. Like, it's people who like to jump on these things because they just like echo chambers, and it's the easy thing to like. And I was on a wrestling podcast a few weeks ago where a guy was like, "Yeah, but what about the women's division in AEW?" And I was like, "You clearly haven't watched it in a year. Then, if you're talking about if they're give the women a chance, only one match in the show." I'm like, watch the fucking show. Then you know that it's the top division of the company. It's easy. Like, people see these things and they get like, oh, this is the new thing to talk about in AEW. They're not protecting people with the headshots. So let's all jump around the house on that, because you get fucking losers like Raj Giri or Alpha Kanua or whoever it is to fucking retweet it and jump on board with it, and that'll cause discourse and clicks and likes and whatnot. Whereas it couldn't be further from the truth. Like, and people involved, the likes of Wrestling Inc. crowd, like, they're all fucking two-faced gobshites. You see, like, Jimmy Corderas, the shit he coming out with and getting fucking found out big time. Like, QT Marshall, fair play to him, kind of calling him out big time during the week on it. So yeah, no, it was a good finish and made complete sense. Safety was paramount, and it was good to see. Two excellent shows, and off the back of the Owen Hart finals, then into the 250th episode, then into Blood and Guts. Like, just the only thing that can stand out to me is like, what the fuck is Hangman Page gonna do? Because I was certain in my mind that he was gonna be facing John Moxley at All In. I just had it in my head. That was the thing that made the most sense. That was before he interacted with Renee Paquette. I tweeted at the time, like 5 minutes beforehand. So I'm an oracle on these things, you see. So
are you?
I am. I know these things, but and then people were talking about it's gonna be him and Okada. Like, I don't. It doesn't feel.
I don't think so.
Doesn't know. So what, are you gonna suddenly turn one of them again, even though both of them have just turned recently? Like, no, it doesn't make sense. So you're gonna have. I reckon you'll have Hangman, either Hangman Jeff Jarrett or Hangman Moxley. I don't know.
Is Moxley going to be back for all? And
you never know. Could be.
I don't know. I don't think he's injured. He's been
off for like 2 months. So
they just giving them the time off he was supposed to get, last year or year before, whenever.
Yeah, but they
made him champion.
Sure, he wants to be on the show though.
I'm sure he does, but he also needs a break as well. Like, the man.
Yeah, all he has to do is turn to one or two TV tapings, do a face-off, do a promo, then have a match in London.
Well, they're starting to build a lot. A lot of matches have started to build, so they don't have a lot of time. I know they can build the match in 10 minutes and make it mean something. But I'd like, for like you mentioned, Hangman. I don't think this feud with Darby is going to be over anytime soon. Like, I don't think he's going to be happy with that result after last night.
It's not about Darby. It's not about Darby though.
I know, but
Darby's. You can plug anybody in there. You can swap anybody.
But in my head, the way they finished it, like, he rolled him up, like, he battered the shit out of him. He dominated Darby, and Darby.
He didn't chase after Darby. It was him. It was him in the corner. Him going to the referee, then sitting down, like, questioning life. And it's about the descent into madness of Hangman Page and him going off the deep end. And it's not like it might lose to somebody else next week, and he probably lose like Wheeler Yuta or something next week, and that might draw John Moxley or something.
Maybe.
That's the kind of way. That's the way you're going. It's talking about like he'll do something. He'll flip out and beat the shit out of Wheeler Yuta backstage or something like that.
You don't see a scenario where it's Darby at all out for the title, right? He's getting the title shot at All Out after winning that Rumble, right? That Battle Royal. That's
the TNT title.
Is it? No, well, he's a TNT title at All In, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he win that Battle Royal then to get a title shot at All Out? The AEW title shot at All Out as well.
I have to confirm that.
I think
it could well have been.
And Rampage, he won that Rumble match.
He did the World Rampage.
He won that, and that gets him the title shot at All Out.
Yeah. Keep talking there.
Yeah. So in my head, the way I see it playing out is just pure fantasy booking, like with Adam Page being involved in that.
Yeah,
somewhere in the background.
At the end of it, like, Adam Page came in, beat the shit out of Jeff Jarrett towards the end as a thing off with Claudio, obviously. So, so it's not All Out. So it's the Royal Rampage, the dual ring over the top rope battle royal with the winner earning the aforementioned title shot this year's September's Dynamite Grand Slam at Queens, New York.
Oh, Grand Slam. Sorry, that's where it was. Sorry. So
This is
where I'm throwing.
You're gonna have your Darby Bryan Danielson. So you're gonna have your Bryan Danielson Darby match then.
Yeah.
Which has been for a while, both from Seattle. And then you're gonna have your Bryan Danielson Swerve rematch in Tacoma, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Makes all sense in the world. Well done, Mark.
Well, what I was going to say is Hangman was going to try and insert himself into that match where Darby is possibly facing Swerve Strickland.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Hangman who's going to cost Swerve the title, and Darby will be champion, and they're going to put the title on Darby, and then they'll continue the feud. A Grand Slam, yeah. And then they'll continue the Hangman Swerve. They'll have their match in you think Bryan Danielson's beating him?
Did you watch wrestling last night?
Are you saying his career? I know his career's over, but
Bryan Danielson's beating him, yeah. 100%. 1 minute.
I don't know.
Bryan Danielson, he's not putting his whole wrestling career on the line. Like, he's
retiring anyway. Like,
he's not retiring.
He's retiring. His contract's up. He's retiring.
He's not retiring.
I thought he was retiring.
Full-time contract. He's still wrestling. He's been very clear he's going to keep on wrestling.
I know, but he said he was going to, once his contract is up, or once this fucking WrestleDream happens.
His last full-time contract, he's still going to be wrestling. So retirement is very different. And he's been very clear that his last show is going to be at the WrestleDream in Washington.
Yeah.
That's why instead of 20,000 seater arena.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson's beating Swerve at All In.
Does that, by saying his career's on the line, gives it away?
It certainly helps that fact, but you put a gun to my head last night, I would have said or the day before yesterday, I would have said the exact same thing with the same level of argument. It's 100% happening. 1 million billion% happening.
I'll hold you to. I'm clipping this. I'll hold you to it.
Yeah, he'll beat Swerve Strickland, then he'll face Darby at Grand Slam, win that, then he'll face Swerve in WrestleDream, and he'll retire there after dropping the title to Swerve in their home state of Seattle.
So are they just doing this to give him a title run before he retires?
It's gonna give him his big. He's the greatest wrestler who's ever lived.
I know, yeah. But
like he
never needed a title in his AEW.
Yeah, but like no, shut up, you. No,
never needed it.
No.
Yes.
Kidnap that man's children. that Simpsons meme you made for me, like
which
gun
one?
To his head. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
Make him win.
Keep smiling.
Keep smiling. Hello, Marge.
Tom Jones.
Hello, Marge. Yeah, like keep smiling.
What's occurring?
Yeah, what's occurring? Yes, but make that man win. And like my friend online, Trevor Dame, he's the exact same thought as me. Like,
you have a friend online?
I'm a loser. People who live online are losers, and I spend too much time online. And after All In, I'll be deleting everything.
Hi, everybody who's watching online.
Huh?
I said hi to everybody who's watching online.
Who's there? About 5 people. Sorry. Somebody's in the comments. Hello, hi V. Brian Danielson, gun to his head, kidnap his children, starve them, do whatever it takes. Like make them eat meat.
Ooh,
like get them on a carnivore diet. All their health problems will be gone. No, make their bones big and strong rather than being vegans. Give them sugar. I don't know. Do something. It's like I don't know. Make Brie Bella be on a reality TV show again. Whatever it takes. Make that man will be winning.
Brie Bella could be in AEW soon as well, could she? Are they going to make an appearance?
She might make like a ringside appearance or something. Like, no.
Well, they're not the Bella twins anymore. They're called the Garcias or whatever their fucking real name is.
They're Nicole and Brianna Garcia. Yeah.
Pull it back there to the women's division. Talk about what's going on because they're building up three feuds, 3 matches. Presuming they're going to be for All In, the 3 of them, like Willow and Chris Statlander. Like Statlander won.
Statlander's beaten Willow twice now.
Yeah, but the same ML, like they're not going to defend that in All In, right?
Why not?
Why
not?
I don't see it happening.
Why not?
I don't see it happening.
Why not?
I don't know. I can't see a CMML title being defended.
Even though they're a partner and they regularly have like New Japan titles and other things happening on AEW programming.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just an additional carrot for a.
Maybe for.
I mean, that title wouldn't have been that. This match play would be happening anyway. If Stephanie Vaquer didn't go to WWE, so I mean, this would be the same program being. But it's just another way of using it as a storyline device, using it as a eliminator match, whatever for that feud. It's absolutely brilliant. They're absolutely incredible, and I fancy Willow Nightingale. Don't know why.
Is it too far away? Are they holding off until All In? Or are they going to just give it?
We've got 25 days to go.
Yeah,
it's not too far away. They might save that as one of the maybe it's like the headline match for All Out. But there's a 2-week break between All In and All Out as well. So it's like you've got things that are bubbling away there, and it's been very well thought out. So I think you'll have 3 women's matches at All In. Britt Baker, Mercedes Moné, obviously it'll be huge. Do you want a spoiler?
Are everybody listening?
So you'll have the debut of the Renegade Twins at All In, forming a stable with Mercedes Moné and Camille Brickhouse. That'll be a woman's stable with Mercedes. People can tip that if they want.
Her own Rush women.
Could whatever. So and then there's a lot of stuff with Britt Baker backstage in a minute as well, which isn't great.
Oh really?
Yeah. very
And no
problematic.
signs of Jamie Hayter coming back for.
No, she seems to be on the shelf long term, which is
Really?
yeah, poor thing.
Oh,
It's really unfortunate.
what do you know? What happened to her, or what?
I don't honestly don't know. I don't know. Like I think medical history these days, like it's a private thing as well. So people don't necessarily.
Yeah, no, I thought maybe she
I mean,
was.
obviously, if you want to be a
accident.
troll, like I am in Fightful Select, and go find out exactly what's wrong with them, may have a very personal issue. You never know. So I just know that she's not be back for a while.
Yeah.
We're not
So
anticipating back anytime in the immediate future.
Not for Allin, so.
No, not in the next 4 weeks.
Okay. Tony Storm and Mariah May.
Tony
This.
Storm has morphed into kind of a dramatic Kill Bill type lady.
Mm-hmm.
I want the that.
Oh, she should drive into Wembley in the pussy wagon. The pussy wagon.
You heard what you said there.
Yeah, the pussy wagon from Kill Bill.
Most people won't get that though. But anyway.
What do you mean? That's like what she drove around. She stole it off your man in the hospital. That pussy wagon in the back of it. She got her feet to work in the back of it.
Your career in construction is wasted.
Construction.
You should be, I don't know, working in media full time. Just as a font of all knowledge around 90s, 2000s movies. Just you should be.
Well, you can always.
You must make a fortune in pub quizzes.
Kind of. Yeah, I've won a few. I've won a few.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with general knowledge, but
for
movies and stuff.
It's very, very well done. Like Mariah May, the glamour. We flagged a number of weeks ago this is going to happen based around the All About Eve. They kind of articulated the All About Eve taking your place over the last 2 weeks, with her promos and stuff. It's good to see that kind of character flip and switch with Tony Storm as well, and kind of her presentation and whatnot carrying through the Collision. It's also you've seen a really kind of cool couple of weeks for Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo on AEW Collision. So every time these three main feuds, there's so much more. So like these people are like, but there's no women's wrestling on AEW. Like there's better women's wrestling and more focused stories and characters in women's wrestling than men at the minute. So. And that's not a slide on the men. It's just
it has been
a long slot, but it's also been like people go on and be like, oh, they don't give women a chance, but they haven't had the women to give them a chance. Do you know what I mean? You need quality. You can't just put. Listen, equality by outcome is not equality. Equality by, do you know what I mean? Opportunities. What AEW's been about. That we're the best wrestling. To be on TV, you need to be one of the best. And those 6 people we've outlined are the best. Plus other 8 people we've outlined are the best, and they're more deserving of huge amount of TV time that they get each week across the 5 hours or the main 4 hours of programming. So yeah.
What else happened on Dynamite last night? We had Ospreay and MJF. Kyle Fletcher came out and saved Ospreay, and we may get a rematch. If anybody remembers last year, Kyle Fletcher, MJF created the kangaroo kick because of Kyle Fletcher.
This American title stuff's been over the top for me.
Yeah, it's
and then MJF Ospreay's coming out like, no, I hate the American title, but at the same time I love America. You get it. Like I mean, so like
it makes no sense for a heel in America to be representing America, even though he's trying to shit on the fans.
I understand, it's been done for an audience that they're not having for 4 weeks.
Yeah, but
like the MJF Rev Pro Michael Oku type thing, but it's
What did you make of that announcement? Actually, Michael Oku.
Cool. Yeah, it's very cool.
Massive for Michael. Yeah.
I was tempted to fly over, but then I thought, no, get a hold of yourself, Mark. Calm down.
Just for that match.
Yeah, I would have done. Yeah. To Rev Pro for that show in your call. Yeah. So yeah, it's an amazing card, but it's great to see that kind of relationship between Rev Pro, CMLL, New Japan, and AEW growing by the day as well. And it's kind of very much a two-way street, despite what everybody thinks. CMLL's having the best audience of their career, and AEW are sending their best stars there, which is also being done to give wrestlers more opportunity to wrestle in different environments and grow as well, but also to appease wrestlers, saying that you come to us, you can do this, that, and the other. So it's really, really cool. So, I mean, in WWE, if you want to wrestle somewhere, if you want to be partnership with TNA, they'll send you their Z-list NXT talent to go appear on a TNA pay-per-view, or their Z-list talent and developmental to go do the N1 in Noah, which it's not really benefiting anybody because most of them are going to get sacked soon. But anyway.
Yeah. But what do you think the regarding MJF or Michael Oku? Do you think Oku might get a chance at all?
Yeah,
In now he was
I
talking
say
about it.
I say he'll be on the Cardiff show.
Do you think he'll be in? Oh, yeah. It'd be
Yeah,
nice
so
to see him
my
on.
well, the interview I did with him a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
like he was kind of talking about that. He was expecting to be on the Cardiff show, based on the
That
conversation.
make sure you go check out Max interview there with Michael Oku because he
I'm
gives a
very
lot of
good.
detail.
I'm very good at these things. You see, I'm
He's
very,
very
very good.
good. Yeah.
I like
Very
and
great.
pen
Yeah.
sports and all this. Yes,
Who's got the gun to your head now?
nobody's got a gun to my head. I am just extremely arrogant.
Ah,
Yeah, but no, it's I fully expect Michael Oku to be at the Cardiff show. If he's not, I'd be very curious as to why not. Not doing like some sort of crappy security angle that they do with other shows. Like,
no. I
yeah,
think he's gone beyond that
he'll
point now.
have a
People
match.
recognize him now. Like they
It's
don't
a
want to
4 hour
see.
taping at that. It might even be 5 hours. Jeez, but it'd be a
It's,
4 hour
well,
taping. The Dynamite and Collision. It'd be a 4 hour
is
taping.
Rampage being taped there as well? No?
Don't think so. I assume they'll do something else with that, but it'd be a 4 hour taping, and yeah, Michael Oku definitely be on that because you're not going to bring they don't bring all their talent over for AEW All In. So All In was like a celebration last year in terms of like look what we've achieved and they're going to fit all their big stars into it.
Yeah,
Now it's more streamlined. You had like 3 singles matches last year. Now you've already got like 6.
that's right. There was a lot of multi-man matches.
Yeah, a
Last
lot
year.
of 6-mans and stuff last year. Now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
focused and streamlined.
There's no anarchy. There's no anarchy in the arena this year.
There
Not
probably
yet.
will be,
Anyway.
but not yet.
Not yet.
But they're
Why have they set it up? It's set up for 56,000, right? It's not set up for the full 80 this year, is it?
well, I say that they've got a big stage this year, so it's going to be like so the price set up for say 60,000 January, right? They've already got 50,000 out the gate, so you got 45,000 sold plus 5,000 on corporate tickets that have been sold elsewhere, which aren't included in ticket maps. So you've got 50,000 already gone, and so instead last year they had the tiny entrance because they wanted the stadium to be the start, which gave you having not because if you watch it, if you go to WrestleMania 38. There's 2 nights, but the whole left hand side of one end of the stadium was taken up with the stage and then advertising behind it. So there was 60. Despite what WWE say, there was 60 to 70,000, 67,000. Sorry, excuse me, was the max they had across that Saturday and Sunday. So I know they said they had like 90,000, but it was 67,000. But that still felt like it was nearly 90% full.
Yeah.
Just the way it was set
everybody in.
Yeah, production and whatnot. So with Wembley, I assume they're going to do the same in terms of one end, big ramp, big stage, because it's different this year. Last year it was about the moment. This year's about the show.
Yeah,
the step piece now. So if you've got if it's going to be maxed out at 60,000, so if say at the minute you got 50,000 tickets set up for, and they want to get to 50,000 kind of paid commission up, so that's 55,000 in total.
Yeah,
and you'll open it further to 55 to 60,000, whatever. So over the next couple of weeks, once they step up their media campaign, you'll see those tickets flying out the door as well. So I'd say you'll end up with probably about 65,000.
Are you expecting one of those? I'm not saying comparing it to WrestleMania, but the big entrance ramps going
down. That's the map they have. Yeah, if you look at the ticket maps they have now, they've got stage and kind of big long walkway down.
Yeah, brilliant. Will they have the tunnels?
Could well do. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Be nice.
I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see you'll have a big stage and a big long setup. It kind of suits them as well, like in terms of so I think it'll be about 65,000. You'll probably be the max you see there.
I wonder will they have any special ring entrances, and probably Mercedes will come out in her fucking with her security or in a big car or some shit like that.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really like that kind of stuff.
Come on, it's part and parcel of the fucking
spectacle. I like their entrance music as is. I mean, I just want to hear Final Countdown and I won't hear CM Punk's theme, obviously. That's what's saying. But FTR's theme. I like this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Do you foresee
the Will Ospreay one worked really well with the slow piano. The MJF one was class last year. That's the kind of thing to see it. I mean, hopefully Chris Jericho. Oh shit, he's gonna have to have a match. He'll probably. Do you know what it'll be? He'll do.
Shibata.
He'll be Nikki in the arena. And he'll do it with the conglomeration or something.
Yeah, why not?
I'll probably be the Anarchy in the arena for the year. Love to have
Who's he aligned with? He's got Big Bill. He's got Brian Keith. Is there anybody else?
They'll have something like Private Party with them, I'd say.
Do they have? Did they have the Beast Morto at one stage or over the last few weeks? No, did he use him for something?
No. So Beast Mortos was teamed up with Don Callis, but you might
Yeah.
There's loads of people will be fitting in, but I say you'll see like the conglomeration, which would be Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and then probably add in Hook. Nah, you wouldn't have Ishii for this. Like,
no,
I'd say you'd have Hook and Shibata in with them, so you have 5-on-5.
Is Hook? What's going on with him? Was he injured or is he just?
He was just taken out by storyline for a bit. So like, just taken out by storyline for a bit. So build heat and Chris Jericho, then he comes back a couple of weeks later. So I think that's the way you do it. You do those three: Jericho, Bill, and Brian Keith, and you'll probably have something like Roderick Strong and Ruby or something. Do you mean that could be that kind of mesh with like the Kingdom involved somehow, and then
and still no word on Adam Cole's update. Like, what's going on? Is he?
He's a heavily separated man, so he's currently moving house this weekend from Florida to Pennsylvania.
He's heavily separated.
Yes, from his partner.
Oh, they've broken up.
Well, I've been working up with this in this show, but yes.
Oh, all right.
We'll move swiftly on.
Moving on. Saraya.
He's injured. Yes, he's had 2 ankle surgeries.
Saraya doesn't seem to be lined up for anything for.
She'll have something on the pre-show, I'd say.
Do you think she's going to?
That's not going to be on. She'll have something on the pre-show with Anna Jay, Harley Cameron, Zach Knight. They'll do like a 3-on-3 or something.
What about the lads on your shirt that you're currently wearing?
Yeah,
are they getting a tag title match? As they claim getting their title match that they earned weeks ago and still haven't got?
So the difference having FTR on TV just makes an instant difference on Collision. It's just a different feel. Like, I love that MXM match. The Acclaimed, fucking weird. They're just fucking weird. Like, Max Caster, anytime like he does his rapping stuff, cool. That's good. That's good. But then he cuts a promo after match, and he just sounds really weird. Some of the stuff he comes out, it's all about, I was the MVP of the match. I'm the best wrestler alive. Like, he doesn't put over the Acclaimed. He doesn't put over Bowens ever. Doesn't mention Bowens. Drops out all of his own nicknames and cliches. Like, it's just like, do you know what the task is here? You're to sell yourselves as a unit, how you're good as a team. Not yourself, and then somebody else comes in and does your work for it. Like, he rambles and doesn't necessarily make sense. And it's just, I know he's had a lot going on in his personal life, his father passing and whatnot. So it's kind of, people are too harsh on him, I think. And that's a big thing to happen in somebody's life. But it's just, it's good to see the passion in how much he's doing. He's very good in ring. He's got a huge amount better, and he's in unbelievable shape, incredible shape, and he's got the biggest legs in the world. I say he's huge. I say he squats about 600 kilos, like 600 pounds, 300 kilos. Like, he's fucking ridiculous. I front squatted 160 for today, by the way. It was really good.
Oh, nice. I broke my leg press record this week as well.
Like
250. Yeah.
I don't believe in machines.
I have to. I can't squat. I can't squat with my shoulder, like, so I have to use leg presses. That's my only option.
Yes.
Still, that's my PR.
Well done. No, I did. Yes, it was my first time lifting over certain amounts. I used to front squat a couple hundred. But anyway, sorry. Max Caster, I just think he needs to calm down a bit or be reined in, because it just looks awkward. Like, Billy Gunn, Max, and Anthony Bones kind of looking at him a bit like, what's he doing? What's he saying? I think you'll have.
It's not part of the gimmick, is it?
I'd say you'll end up. I would have said previously like a trios match for Okada and the Young Bucks, but I reckon Okada will have to do something on his own. I reckon you'll have to do the Bucks versus the Acclaimed. I reckon probably be the tag match. But that's the one that makes the most sense. I think I don't think it's trios. I don't think it's 3-ways good. Three ways triple threats are never good. You either do 1-on-1, 2-on-2, like one side, one team versus the other, or you do like 4 corners.
Yeah.
3 is just an awkward amount. It's uneven. and there's a reason why it's shit. Whereas 4, I think you do those 3 teams. I would personally reward something like the Kingdom and give them a match, rather than like a private party or something.
Are they? No, they're not. Do they still hold the Ring of Honor titles?
They do, yeah. I think that's what I would do. I somebody put like do like a ladder match type of gimmick, or you can do the Lucha Bros. I think that's what you should do. Lucha Bros in a 4-way.
Yeah, we didn't mention them actually. They're talk about them when their contracts.
They're fine. Don't worry. Yeah, Grant. What the fuck is Pac gonna do? Pac.
Yeah, what the fuck, like.
So I assumed when MJF won that title, given that Pac had became the number 1 contender to the international title, that Pac would be facing MJF before Allin, like say this week or last week, right?
Yeah.
And Ospreay would have cost Pac or cost MJF, and then suddenly Pac's the international champion, so he goes off this road.
Yeah.
MJF's upset at Ospreay, they go off that road. He doesn't need a fucking title for that.
Doesn't
need the American title type of shit. So you'd have had Pac. I would have had Pac versus Claudio, all in, or like Pac versus Claudio, or like a 4-way or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you'd have had MJF Ospreay over there. Because now, what are you doing with Pac for his all-in moment?
Nothing at the minute, doesn't seem to be.
He deserves his like solo.
Absolutely. Why give him that win? Like, why have him cut a promo? Saying he's getting
again,
his
26 days away. So
I know, yeah, but still,
he's been down in CMLL the past couple of weeks, tearing it up, which is brilliant to see. Which is the most historic thing in wrestling at the minute, by the way.
Having Pac travel.
The fact that Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix are competing in CMLL is people don't understand how big of a deal this is. Like, I don't. The amount of legal threats that have been leveled against AEW, CMLL, Phoenix, Penta from AAA. They're not under contract with AAA, but it's absolutely insane. Like it's hard. It's like a player who's signed, contracted for Rangers, turning up on Saturday and playing for Celtic. It's that like that's so big. Yeah, and like it's that kind of division and divisiveness. It's ridiculous, and the fact that they're facing Mystico, Volador Jr. I watched it all live last Saturday because I'm sad. I subscribe to CMLL. It's unbelievable. It's just different gravy down there. It's the best wrestling arena in the world. Arena Mexico, Arena Coliseo. Does
Triple A? They're in Arena Mexico as well? Do they use that as well?
No. Arena Mexico is owned by CMLL, so is Arena.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so Triple A do like stadium shows and stuff, but they're kind of awkward. They're like quarter full, and people like Nick Nemeth and Matt Riddle kind of on it. So GP Production Podcast Evening, lads. See you next week, Jerry. Who don't know who that man is, but anyway.
That's you do know who that is. It's
Morris.
Morris.
That was me, Morris.
Morris, Mark, are you going to OTT? You're going to Scrapper. Yes. Morris, you'll see Mark there too, hopefully.
Going to the Sunday as well.
Are you going to Belfast as well?
That's the current plan. If I don't...
You're not going to Wolver, though, are
you? No, I couldn't justify that. But I could potentially justify going to RevPro if I have a moment of insanity that I'm prone to having.
Instead of Belfast?
Yes.
They're on the same day, right? 11.
Hello, Morris. Sorry, Mark, I haven't met you in person. Not a problem, Morris. I do apologize for my abruptness, my rudeness. I'm looking forward to shaking your paw in person at OTT next week.
Don't do it. His paws are rotten.
Okay, I'll fist bump him. Morris with his million paws, says Jerry. I tag title match. I think you'll need to figure in Penta and Phoenix to keep them happy as well a bit to a degree. I think Pac, Claudio need to be featured in something meaningful, not just like a stadium stampede.
Yeah. Well, like the BCC aren't involved in any like.
Yeah, I know.
Feuds with any teams.
You put Mox with Hangman. I think Claudio's teased a few times, like dissension with Bryan, dissension with Mox and stuff a few times. Like, I'm amazed. Like, I thought like Hangman was going to win the Owen Hart. Yeah. I had it in my head that Bryan was going to be facing Claudio at All In. I think that would have been just their kind of relationship, full circle moment for friends and stuff. It was just, it would have been sweet, and I think he might have faced Swerve and retired as world champion at WrestleDream or something. So yeah, it's a funny one. I think you'll end up doing a 4-way in some fashion for the tag titles, because it's 3, and then they'll fix somebody else in, and then trios you'll do. That could be a 3 or 4-way. That could be like
Patriarchy, and
you've got the Patriarchy. You'll have House of Black.
Where are they actually?
Buddy Matthews got married. Buddy King's been appearing on TV sporadically. But they got taken out by Patriarchy, so they'll come back soon. Bullet Club Gold. And I maybe do Roderick Strong in the Kingdom then. Is your 4th one?
Yeah. There's no else really, is there? I
think that's kind of tag titles, trios, that's the kind of parameters you'd have to put in it.
Yeah. You don't think they're, I know that you're on about the tag titles, but you don't think the Elite are going to be involved in another Anarchy match, right?
No, that Elite thing's done.
Yeah.
I think you got Jack Perry will go off and do his thing with Darby Allin. Then you'll have Okada. Give me a minute. Okada Moxley, maybe.
Where's Eddie Kingston?
He's injured. A broken ankle.
Is he? Oh, he's out. Oh, sure. Fuck, he's going to be out for a while, so is he?
Yeah. There's tons and tons of people out. But they're all like, they're not from dangerous things. A lot of them are just like shitty things. Like, you tweaked, like Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, like ran into a turnbuckle and just as they're running, like tweaked their knees. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just stuff like shitty little unfortunate injuries that put you out for 9 months. Like, so many. Like, I mean, then
just when you're mentioning, I was thinking about all the people that are actually out injured. It's crazy.
Yeah, Adam Cole. How did he get injured? He jumped off like 3 steps.
Jumped off steps.
Steps, not off the stage. Jumped off steps.
No, steps.
Like, no higher than my desk, and somehow broke his ankle in 2 places. Broke it to the extent that he was able to get back up on the ringside, cost Samoa Joe a match, then walk backstage with an ankle broken in 2 places. Adam Copeland, that was madness. He was just stupidity from his own part, like jumping off a cage against Malachi Black. Still, like it's just small things that add up. Like that's nothing to do with AEW as a company. That's a lot of it's luck.
Yeah.
That's just wrestling as well.
Unfortunately, it is.
There's a lot of lazy narratives online, like, oh well, WWE wrestlers, of course they get injured in AEW. They don't wrestle enough. You don't get fucking stronger ankles while you're jogging, jumping, stepping down steps and roll your ankle.
You're more risk of getting injured by doing it more often anyway. Like,
yeah, but no, you get a hardened calluser body. Fine, that's fine for pumping.
Yeah.
Like you're getting like, do you know what I mean? If you're getting shoulder injuries or something, your ankle or anyway, or tweaking your knee, like that. Those are ligament bone injuries. Anyway,
so move away from the injuries before we go. I just wanted to touch on there was one thing is irking me. I'm bringing back.
Look, we're using good words.
Irking me is this whole Tony Khan and the Elite thing. It still hasn't. You know, the Elite lost the blood and guts match, but they did.
Team
AEW beat them. Like, but there's no mention of Tony Khan. Whenever they beat them, there was no mention. Is this Tony Khan's come up and getting his comeuppance on the Elite? Is this his way of beating them?
So like when Darby Allin came back, Tony Khan drove him and stuff. Like,
Do you know
what was dropped though? When the Elite jumped Christopher Daniels last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they jumped him, left him laying, and then tossing the coin with Bryce Remsburg. That was one thing that was dropped, never brought up again. I would expect that to be brought up this weekend or next week. Yeah, I think because the Bucks are off TV, and sometimes you need things to breathe a bit before you move on to something else. So
do you think that's just done though? Is this feud with Tony Khan and the Elite? Is it done? Like,
yeah.
They're not going to bring it up ever again, even though they fucking.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Meltzer drivered him.
Morris asks a question here. He says, "Will Daniel Bryan?
Who's he?
No idea who that is. Will Daniel Bryan extend his contract, or will he go to Japan? Maybe. Daniel Bryan, as far as I know, is dead. Bryan Danielson, however, I believe will be not extending his contract in terms of a performer capacity. However, I believe he'll be signing a contract as an employee of All Elite Wrestling, non-talent performing, I reckon he'll be kept on, which would only make sense for a man with 2 kids and a wife in terms of for insurance purposes, longevity, pension, all these type of things. He was talking Mara's second part of this question about where will he go to Japan. Maybe he's talking about he'd love to go to Japan. He talked to Gato about doing the J1, but then also in the same breath said, at the same time, after I said it to him, like a few days later, I realized my body actually wouldn't be able to. I actually wouldn't be able to justify going to Japan for that long. So he will be continuing. Like I reckon he'll have 6 months now at least, or to a year, with no matches. Let his neck and body recover after WrestleDream.
Meditate.
Yeah,
meditate. Oh,
I
love it.
Don't knock it. Do not knock it.
I do it every day.
Your shit beard and your lack of cheek hair.
Look at my dimples. See my dimples. Look at their little dimples.
You know cheek hair. I don't see him going to Japan other than sort of like kind of. Oh, sorry. Maybe at Wrestle Dynasty, you might see him pop up there.
That's technically going to.
I reckon he'll sign a non-performer contract with AEW, and then you'll see him pop up at like Defy shows and things like of that nature, or down to CMLL and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's all up in the air. But he's not going to go back to WWE. You're never going to see him wrestle for WWE again. No, that way.
No, definitely not. I think he's pretty much Tony Khan's right hand man, isn't he?
Yeah, it is, and he's also this is what resonates with him. This is what he loves. He loves wrestling. He loves the beauty of sport and competitive wrestling. He loves developing people as well. He loves developing people without being a creep, like CM Punk going down to the NXT Performance Center and touching a lot of women. Is that slander? Is that slander? Is that libel? If he sees this, I'm sorry. But yes, like I think it's where he is now. And what AEW has on the horizon, both in the monetary, I think it's prime for ridiculous growth over the next 2 to 3 years. Financially more than anything, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Morris, if you're still in the chat, let us know what your thoughts are. Are you going to All In? What your hopes for it, or what your predictions are for it if you're not going? Like, what do you expect?
Future hopes and dreams.
Future. While you're watching, lads, don't forget to check out all our previous content on Body Slam and Irish Wrestling Entertainment. Mark is killing it with interviews over the last few weeks, and he has a few more coming up. Mark, have you anything planned over the next few weeks?
I've got an interview with AEW wrestler approved by AEW, a guy called Bishop Khan.
Nice.
If you're a Ring of Honor fan, as I am for a number of years, he's absolutely outstanding, probably the most underutilized and underappreciated wrestler in the space. I've got a fair few people I talked about in a previous stream that I was due to have this week, but and some people last week, but I just had to put on the back burner, just getting things done and whatnot. So hopefully I'll be able to recommence with them next week with more AEW-driven content and agendas. Approved by
Agenda. The ultimate AEW mark. The ultimate AEW mark.
Suck it, nerds.
AEW, they have advertised a few matches for next week on Dynamite, and Collision is coming up. We mentioned earlier. Morris has come back to this. He's not. He doesn't enjoy AEW at the moment. Not a WWE tribal either. Just not liking it.
Listen, Morris, we're only on here having a laugh. At the same time, it's like wrestling is subjective, and people again, I say, not a tribalist. Like it's what suits you, it's what you're into. Like, this is what I love. But again, like people that take it too seriously, wrestling's just wrestling. It's a
TV show.
It's pretend fighting in your underpants, and the winner is chosen by one person who runs a company. So it's entirely subjective. So even the wrestlers themselves, be it wrestlers and OTT, weirdos who backstage think they're really class because they've won matches. No, you won a match because somebody told the other opponent to lose to you. Like it's all a work. It's all a bit of fun. It's all an escape. So, Morris, yes, that's not a problem. Don't worry. I'm not am I an AEW tribalist? I think I'm more of an AEW. Am I more of an AEW shithouse?
You're an AEW troll.
AEW troll. Yes. Yeah. I like trolling. That's the problem.
That's the thing. Trolling's fun. Like,
trolling's
as long
fun.
As long as
never
everybody
know.
realizes it's trolling isn't
Yeah,
real. Like it's like wrestling.
nobody,
Like it's just
just
fun.
nobody knows if I'm serious or not, which is the way to keep it.
Yeah, should be. Nobody knows if things are serious. Like no, it is serious. Next week on Dynamite, Jeff Jarrett and Bryan Danielson has been confirmed.
Yes,
Yes,
first. I've been calling for this for years. I wanted Jeff Jarrett
finally.
versus Kenny Omega at All In last year. Didn't get it. Now I'm getting the second best thing: Jeff Jarrett versus Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson as Daniel Bryan, as Morris would say.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, don't know who that is. Bryan Danielson on AEW Dynamite next week. I reckon Jeff Jarrett's going to get his final match or his big send off at All In. I've just got a itchy little feeling. I think it's all he keeps featuring in things. It's just you're not really sure why he is. Even this All In thing with Bryan Danielson the last couple of weeks. It's just he's like the angel of AEW or something. He's like the conscience of AEW. You know what I mean? He's like the conscience. He's like the angel on your shoulder as opposed to the devil on your shoulder. He's the conscience. He's like getting involved in the blood and guts match, which wasn't related to the Owen Hart tournament. Then he's getting related in things with Bryan Danielson. So he's the conscience. He's the he's the voice of reason and sanity and good. He's a brilliant man, and he sent me a really nice email 2 weeks ago that really meant a lot to me as well.
Good. Morris is also hoping Becky Lynch might show up at OTT next week. Front row tickets he has.
Nice, Morris. Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope Rebecca Quinn appears at All In.
Rebecca Quinn.
I hope Rebecca Quinn appears at All In.
Well, Soraya's there. Maybe you never know. There's history there.
That was what I was thinking. I think given their previous familial connection growing up, I think that's a possibility. Just say we'll give you all the money. Just turn up once.
We're going to leave it there. We will be back on the Irish Wrestling channel. If you're watching this on Body Slam, go over to subscribe to to our Irish Wrestling Entertainment. And if you're watching Irish Entertainment, go over and subscribe to Body Slam. We'll be back over next week. We have 3 shows for Scrapper Mania weekend. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be going live just to give our predictions for those 3 cards because they're so stacked and it's hard to do them all in one show. So we're just going to do short episodes over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So make sure you subscribe to them and check out Mark on Wrestle Mobs. Make sure you see his interviews coming up. If you haven't already, go back and watch the previous interviews with a lot of extremely talented people, including Carrie Silken, who was the owner of Ring of Honor, which is a really fun interview. Go back and watch that. And make sure you check out all our previous content as well. And Morris is in the chat right now. Go out, check out Cheap Heat Productions as well if you haven't checked them out. Morris does some great interviews with some people who are, they're involved in little bits of the wrestling industry. You can go back and watch these people like the Dublin Destroyer.
I have been on a stream with Morris before.
You have been on the stream with Morris before. You never met him in person.
No, he's
you
right.
You can go back and watch all his stuff because his content is really fun, and he's one of the top wrestling podcasts in Australia as well. So check out it. Even though he's Irish, his podcast is massive in Australia.
Outstanding. I owe that man a packet of wine gums.
I don't know why wine gums makes me laugh, but they do when your gums are around us. So, but anyway, lads, like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back next week, we hope, for All Elite Weekly. We can't call it the previous show before because somebody else took it. So, thanks as always, guys, and we'll see you next week. Blah 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 blah.
Bye bye.
Good luck.